Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I am talking about Invitation to Death by Bryan Smith. This is from Grindhouse Press, number 77, for what that's worth, excuse me. Love that cover. Got a nice little picture on the back. And in this book, there's a group of people back in 1999, when they were the cool kids in high school. Something happened, something bad. They agreed to never speak about it again, go their separate ways. Well, now it's Christmas Eve, 2020, I believe. I'm going to take a quick look just to be sure. Yep. Wait. That says December 25th. That's Christmas Day. Well, anyway. They've all been invited to Raven Reach. Yes, Raven's Reach Manor. They have to spend the night. They could get $1 million. But is someone digging up the past? Is something more sinister going on? Why have they all been gathered together? That's the question. So, I'm going to start out by telling you, I've been a Bryan Smith fan for a very long time. Way back in his leisure book days. Probably when his second leisure book came out, I'm going to say. I bought the first one and the second one at the same time. I've got all his leisure books. Followed him to, I think he had something from Sam Hain. I'd have to look in the other room. That's where the trade paperback sized books are. The leisures are over there. And then he's done Grindhouse and self-published, all sorts of stuff. I don't have everything he's got, everything he's done. I'm working on it. Haven't done it quite yet, but I'm trying to keep up with all the new stuff he's putting out whenever he puts it out. And so I'm a big fan. He has a wide range of stories, crazy over the top psychos and weird supernatural stuff and holiday themed things such as this. Great writer. So, going into this book, I expected good old-fashioned Bryan Smith story. Not going to be disappointed. You know, I have certain expectations. And I will say that not only did Bryan Smith meet my expectations with this book, but he blew me away. Giving away the ending right now. Not the ending of the book. The ending of the review. 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely. So, it's written in the typical wonderful Bryan Smith style. I say wonderful, but it's just clear, concise, straightforward storytelling. No flowery language. We're introduced to each of the characters. We start off, the first character we're introduced to is driving up to Raven's Reach. And so we learn about the invitation that he got and why he accepted it. And then we meet the other characters. Some as they're approaching Raven's Reach, some in various stages. And we learn, again, why they've all accepted. They all have different reasons for accepting or not accepting. And we meet this other character who doesn't seem to fit in with this group. I'm not going to say why, but when you read it, not if, I'm saying when, you'll know which character I'm talking about. There's just a character that doesn't seem to fit with the rest of this group. And we learn, eventually we learn that they all knew each other in high school. Well, we know that from the back of the book, but within the story, we learn that they all knew each other in high school. There's some secret, and this is all very straightforward storytelling, interesting, gripping, thrilling storytelling, and Bryan Smith is using a number of horror tropes here. You have the whole, again, group of people that did something in the past. Now it's come back to bite them in the ass. Probably the most famous is I Know What You Did Last Summer, because of the movie, but it's something Greg F. Gafune does a lot. So it's definitely a horror trope. Then you have the whole people being gathered at a location with the incentive of winning a lot of money. Of course, the first thing that comes to mind for me is House on Haunted Hill, the original. I love that movie. I know people like the remake, but I'm just not a fan. But Bryan Smith puts his own twist on this. This is not, he's not rehashing these things. He's using them and making them his own. And then there is a moment. There is one moment in this book that brought me so much joy. The moment I read that, I knew this book was getting 5 stars. It brought me so much joy. If I were Angel, the vampire from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I would have lost my soul and turned back into Angelus because of the dumbest curse ever. Yeesh. So any Buffy the Vampire Slayer fans will know what I'm referencing here, but yeah, I was so happy when I read this one thing in the book. It was so fantastic. And like I said, I just immediately, I was like, this is getting 5. Unless he completely fails at the ending, this book is going to get 5 out of 5. And obviously he didn't fail the ending because I've already told you, I gave it 5 out of 5. So you've got interesting characters. You've got craziness that starts happening. Once everybody's gathered at Raven's Reach, things just go nuts. And there's twists and turns. And then this moment that happens. And then it keeps on going. And yeah, I think everything's revealed, everything's explained. Eventually. But yeah, just such a great fun, for horror. I would love to see this as a movie. Bryan Smith has written one book that has been made into a movie, and that is 60. All right, I have to look because I don't remember the number. I'm not 100% sure I remember the number. Nope, it is 68 Kill. I would have been right without looking it up. 68 Kill, great book, great movie. There's a sequel I haven't read yet. I do have it though. So that's one of his books that has been made into a movie. This app would make such a great movie. It would be so entertaining. Even though I know that moment of joy is going to be coming, I want to see it. And I want to see people see it and experience it. It is so, man, I just have not been this happy with a book, this kind of happy in such a long time. I mean, I've read some great, great books, but there's just something about that moment that brings me so much joy. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, I'm recommending this. If you're a fan of Bryan Smith, you absolutely have to read this. If you just want a fun, crazy, gets over the top, but with great characters, interesting characters, diverse characters in their backgrounds and what they've been doing since high school and it's just really, I'm so happy with this. If I had read this before I did my top list of the year, this would have been in the top list of the year. So we'll call this number 13 because I did a top 12. We'll call this 13 because that list wasn't in any particular order. Loved this. And it came out just last year. so it would count for this year's list. Yeah, can't recommend this enough. Just have a good time with it. Just sit down and turn the lights down low. Not too low that you can't read. Maybe on a dark, stormy night or a snowy night. As a matter of fact, I believe that this review should be going up on Christmas Eve. So there you go. Coincidentally. All right. I don't know what else to say. I'm just gushing because I'm so happy with this book. Invitation to Death. Bryan Smith. So happy that I read this book. I'm so happy this book is in my life. There you go. And it's got such a cool cover. I like that. All right. So I'm trying to settle down here. That's it. 5 out of 5. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on the Low Budget Review Show. How about a question for this video? What book has brought you this kind of joy? I think I've expressed myself well enough that you know what I'm talking about. Not necessarily like the greatest book you've ever read, just a book that you read and you were just so happy that that you read it and it just was so good, so fun. Is there a book like that in your life? And again, not your favorite book necessarily, not a book you've reread over and over again, just a book that had this kind of impact, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, if you know what I'm saying and you have an answer, put that in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. And that's it. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.